Do you have difficulty maintaining focus, paying attention to the business at hand, or being present and in the moment? We're going to take a look at tips to create a positive result with respect to staying focused. Next, we'll look at the multitasking myth. And lastly, motivators that help us maintain our focus. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell to get notified when we post new videos. You don't want to miss any of them. We have some really good ones coming up in the next few weeks. I've been a professional coach since 2007, and I've coached hundreds of people. I've helped many of them work through their limiting beliefs, staying focused, and that served to help them grow in their career and their leadership abilities. And we broke through those obstacles that were holding them back. Do you have difficulty maintaining focus, paying attention to the business at hand, being present and in the moment? Often, there are so many things going on and going through our minds that we just simply get overwhelmed by it all. We allow ourselves to focus on the distractions, give power to the outside noise, and therefore we have difficulty staying focused. No matter if the culprit is fatigue, distractions, lack of motivation, or something else, our inability to focus causes our productivity to wane, and we limit our chances and our degree of successes. We really think we're doing the right thing by letting these things rob us of focused attention to what's important. When we're feeling pressured or stressed or overwhelmed or overloaded, it is easy to lose sight of our priorities. Taking care of your mental state and your body is just as important as powering through work and checking off items on our to-do list. By identifying and eliminating distractions, investing time and effort in maintaining physical exercise, and investing in our mental well-being, you can improve your productive time and you can also accomplish much more. If you're having difficulty or trouble maintaining focus, try some of the tips in this guide to create a positive result. First, identify distractions. First of all, you have to identify the distractions. You need to ask yourself specific questions and interrogate your reality to help keep you honest with yourself. The only person that's hurt is you if you aren't honest and authentic. So, ask yourself questions that will help you get to the root of what causes your distractions. Are there areas in my life that I always maintain focus? Are there areas in my life where I easily lose focus? What are the differences between the two? One of the things that may distract you could be your physical location. Many of us are working from home due to the pandemic and the residual effects of the pandemic, and this has caused a definite change in our workplace and our ability to stay on task. The distractions at home can be much more plentiful than in the office, especially if you have others living in your home. Children just simply do not understand why they can't be sitting in your lap while you lead a very important product update meeting. The dog does not always choose the best time to bark or need to go out. I am proof of that. My dog interrupts my videos all the time. Even our spouses can distract us at times. One of the best gifts you can give yourself is to make the right decision about where you set up your home office. Many of us do not have a lot of extra room in our homes to do this. So being smart about it really helps our mental well-being and cuts down on those distractions. Where are the quietest places in your home? And where do you think you can accomplish work tasks and meetings? So take a look around. Evaluate the right place for you to work. If you have an extra bedroom, you can use it for an office by using a small section in the room to set up shop. Another idea is to use the walk-in closet if you have one. It's actually a great idea because you can close the door for privacy when needed and no one will ever know it's a closet. If you have an open floor plan or a very small apartment, consider using a room partition for privacy or to separate the workspace from the rest of the room, especially if you're easily distracted. These ideas will also help with work-life balance, which I cover in one of my blogs. The idea is to separate yourself from anything that could distract you, and it could distract others if you're on a conference call or a video call. To make sure that you improve your focus and therefore increase your productivity, it's important to set boundaries, both mentally and physically, with your family. So if you keep your workspace separate and or away from the area in your home that your family spends the most time, you have a greater chance of maintaining focus. So let's talk about clutter, both mental and physical. One of the things that can distract us is clutter. It affects our ability to think, focus, or see things clearly. Because we have to work from home due to the pandemic or because of a hybrid model now, most of us understand how easily we can get distracted by any clutter or messiness in our home. That's why identifying the distractions is so important and why setting up your office as a separate environment free from distractions is really essential. So as we prepare to or are already migrating back to our offices, we need to consider that there are also a lot of things that distract you in an office. One is social time with coworkers, and that's very important. We've all been away from each other so long, and when people come to your office door, you feel like you feel the need to reconnect. So take the time to do that because it'll be good for both of you. After reconnecting, if they stop by because of business, that's great. Get right to it. If it's not business, you can ask them politely if you can continue later because you're on a deadline. Don't be afraid to do that, but also don't be afraid to take the time to reconnect. You also have to make sure that you're keeping your head clear of any clutter. Later, I'll talk about prioritization and some other things, but for now, let's talk about mind clutter. It's easy to get overwhelmed by that long to-do list. So it's very important that you keep your list short. I recommend that you only have the items on the list that you can realistically get to today. That means the list may only have 3 to 7 items on it. And guess what? That's perfectly acceptable. It allows you to stay focused on what's most important today, and it keeps you from getting bogged down by the amount of work you have to do. One of the best things you can do for yourself when working from home is to get organized and make it a top priority. Making sure your home is free from clutter will likely increase your productivity, and it will help keep you from losing your mind while working in a small space or even in a space that's wide open to the rest of the family. First, start with organizing your office files, paper, and supplies. Try to digitize as much as possible to remove the amount of clutter on and around the workspace. Secondly, keep it simple and clutter-free. Declutter your workspace and tidy up your desk regularly. That is something I really have to stay on top of. You'll be surprised how much more clarity you'll have once you do this. For me, it's very cathartic to have a clutter-free space around you and the act of cleaning it up. It allows for more freedom of thought. Thirdly, set clear boundaries with both your coworkers and your family and stick to them. It's easy to set boundaries and difficult to be true to them. It's one of the most important lessons we can learn. Being clear about our boundaries and firm about sticking to them sends a message to ourselves that we matter. See, I think this is beneficial both mentally and emotionally. One of my favorite things to remind people: remember, to thine own self be true and claim your boundaries. Then we need to pay attention to our body clock. Is there a specific time of the day that you get distracted? I ask this question because we all have different body clocks. Some people are morning people and have lots of energy. Some are midday people, and then others are night owls. I don't understand the night owls because I'm a morning person and I do my best thinking and creative work early in the morning. That's why I like to get up at least 1 hour before any calls, because my creative and thinking time is most productive then. I will often have a drop in energy, usually between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. So ask yourself, is there a specific time of day that you get distracted and a time when you successfully maintain focus? Knowing the time of day that you more successfully maintain focus is important in planning your day. You want to work on the more difficult challenges, high priority problems, or high priority projects rather, or any problem solving activities when you're the most productive. Then you keep the easier task when you have less energy and less focus. Once you've determined your most productive time of day, then block out your calendar for focus time so that you'll minimize the number of meetings that get scheduled during that time, which is your most productive time. This alone will help increase your ability to maintain focus and therefore get more done on any given day. You'll also keep the clutter to a minimum. So let's talk about the multitasking myth. When we get overwhelmed, overloaded, or overbooked, it is so tempting to try to multitask. If you're working on maintaining or improving your focus, this is absolutely one of the worst things you can do. I call it a distraction because just the act of multitasking is distracting to our minds. While it seems that this is a good idea and that multitaskers are better at their jobs, yet several studies have indicated that it actually hurts productivity. Yes, it actually hurts productivity. In a McGraw-Hill higher education article titled Multitasking, Helpful or Harmful, they mention a study that suggests that constantly checking your smartphone while doing other work makes people more absent-minded in their daily lives. Are you guilty of doing that? An absent-minded distraction is likelier to hinder job performance than to help. Multitasking causes you to lose focus more easily because it's difficult to focus on two things at once. If you're trying to do emails during a conference call, you're more likely to miss important topics being discussed while possibly omitting very important information from the email. And there aren't any exceptions. Some people say they're good at this. I don't believe it. Either of these things can damage your reputation and your brand, whether you're in business for yourself or you work for a company. If you are still not convinced, try this exercise. I want you to simultaneously say your ABCs while you're writing your numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Now make sure you're doing this at exactly the same time. My guess is that you're alternating letters and numbers or vice versa. Our brains are not designed to do two things at once. That's why distractions have such a negative impact on our ability to focus. Let's talk about that infamous to-do list. We spoke about our to-do list earlier in order to minimize how many items we have on them daily. Having a to-do list is a great way to make sure you maintain focus and stay on track to hit deadlines. Overdoing a to-do list can lead to overwhelm and distract us from what we actually need to get done today. Why not have a to-do list for each day? So there are many productivity tools that you can use, like your calendar, for instance. No matter which calendar app you use, there's a way to keep your tasks for the day right in the calendar. This will allow you to keep an electronic list, and it's way easier to transfer any incomplete task from today to tomorrow or from one day to the next day. It should be your goal that this should happen rarely. That means that you're staying focused on what needs to be done today and completing those tasks. So let's talk about other distractions. Are there specific triggers that cause you to lose focus? Triggers are events, thoughts, or people that cause us to act in a certain way. These can be both positive and negative. For instance, if someone calls and gets us really upset or stressed out, the first action we take is usually automatic and triggered by upset or stress. These same types of triggers or interruptions can cause you to lose focus. Pay attention to these triggers and behaviors over the next week or so and write them down. Then answer the above question to determine if there are certain triggers that cause you to be distracted or to lose focus. There are many things that fit into this category, and they can be very personal. So I don't want to give you a list of other distractions that may influence your thinking. The key is to observe and record in an intentional way. Now, make sure to be honest with yourself when something distracts you, no matter what it may be. This will help you eliminate as many distractions as you can. Maybe this could become a regular activity for you to maintain focus and reduce the distractions in real time. Do you have a hard time maintaining focus or making a to-do? Do you make a to-do list that's this long? If so, give us a shout out in the comments below and tell us your story. We'd really love to hear from you. Okay, let's talk about motivators that help us maintain focus. Just like there are distractions that take us away from our focused activities, there are also motivators that help us stay energized and maintain our focus. So think about the things that cause you to always maintain focus. How does it make you feel when you think about those areas or those things? Are you feeling energized? Do you feel like, I want to get up and do something right now? Or I want to sit and read that article? Or I want to make those phone calls that I need to make? Whatever it is, does it get you energized? Now, think about the areas in your life where you easily lose focus. Pay close attention to that as well. How does it make you feel? What happens with your energy level? What happens with your desire to take action? Are you thinking about putting it off or just sitting staring at your desk or your laptop trying to take action? My guess is that the difference in energy level is dramatically different from the areas that you maintain focus and the areas in which you easily lose focus. So, check your motivation and your confidence. After you've asked yourself all these questions, think about them specifically. The answers should give you insight into how to keep yourself motivated and help you maintain focus. If you're a small business owner, how confident are you that you're in the business of your choice? One of my favorite sayings is from Confucius, or at least they give him credit. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I think Mark Twain said, are you absolutely confident that you're doing what you love? And the answer may very well be yes. If so, use this guide to help you maintain your focus. If the answer is no, then you need to do some soul searching to make sure you're doing what you were created to do. If you work for a company, how sure are you that you're in the role that best suits you? Are you confident that you're on the right career path? Are you being intentional about that? So this topic may seem like a departure from maintaining focus, but the answers to these questions can help to explain your ability or your inability to maintain focus while working. The third question is, are there parts of your business or your job that you like better than other parts? So think about this and be a little introspective to better understand those triggers that cause you to lose focus. Really understand them. It will make all the difference in how you approach your days, weeks, and months ahead. You will begin to find it easier to maintain focus and accomplish your goals and your dreams. So give yourself the gift of focus. We've talked about a lot of ideas that can help you maintain focus, and we may have stirred some additional thoughts and triggers with those questions. Really understanding those triggers can help you in so many areas of your life and your career. Get clear about what you really love about your business or your career. What is it that you really love about it? One of the things I think we need is accountability. So, who is your personal or professional, who is in your professional life that can and will hold you accountable? Really hold you accountable with authenticity and without malice. I mean, truly hold you accountable for making smart decisions, for staying focused, for all of those things. Identify these people and ask them to be your accountability partner or partners. You must give them permission to be completely honest with you while you remain totally open to their feedback. Another way to have accountability is to get a coach. Some companies will provide a coach for you if you reach out to the talent development team. You can also hire one directly. So let's review some things you can do to maintain your focus. First, identify distractions. As we discussed, there are so many things that distract us from our focus. The best way to address an issue or solve a problem is to identify it, name it, and take action to change it. Motivators. Once we understand what motivates us, it's easier to maintain focus by keeping these things in front of mind. And the gift of focus. Incorporating focus into your daily life is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. And the side effect is that you become more productive and successful in every area of your life. So make sure you're taking action on the tips in this guide. Each day is a new day and will find us with new challenges. Maintaining focus while at work can be challenging, and yet we're committed to help you achieve your goals and be as successful as you can be. Let me ask you again, are you struggling with maintaining focus at work, or have an overloaded workload, or just getting off the hamster wheel chasing success? You should come join our private community. You can find more information by clicking on the link in the description below. We have such a great group of people who are part of this community. They're there to support you, and you'll be there to support them as well. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when we post new videos so you don't miss any of the great ones coming up. So, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you there.